Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, and this time reviewing on Incredibles 2, Secret Identities. Now, as you know, Secret Identities was a 3-issue series that was mainly released by Dark Horse Comics. I do see this series as a bit of a potential pilot for a Incredibles TV show, and in a way the story does hold up. So the cover you've got is Violet, pretty much, looking on at a kid who looks like a female version of Adrian. And let's get on the story. It starts off how Violet and the others defeat one of their enemies, saying, "Nice try, Robo Sumo, but if you can't get out, your balance can't use your mass to break free. Perfect tactics. You took away his greatest advantage, just like we trained. Pretty cool, sis." So suddenly Violet gets a wake-up call, and her teacher says, "See me after class, please." Oh! And she says, "Violet, your grades are slipping, and you seem distracted all the time. Like you mind a million miles away. Is everything okay at school, at home?" So she does point out that she has her own problems, but she can't say it directly about being a superhero, and doesn't want to and can't reveal her identity. So Tony shows up to say that, that we're going bowling after school and that, but Violet points out that she has to do her homework and that. So Violet pretty much goes back home later, and even Helen points out that they got a phone call from their teacher who said that she was falling asleep in class. She points out that, saying, "All the other kids are interested in clothes, cars, movies. They're worrying about chemistry. Well, there's our mad scientists out there building death rays. Except for you guys, I can't talk to anyone about that stuff." So Bob mainly says that, he understands and that he has, that she needs to keep her identity a bit more grounded, and points out about doing other activities, where Helen says that she was part of a bridge club and joined a band, and Violet decides to give it a go. So pretty much there's this big, mainly auditions for drama club, and says, "We have to read lines today?" Well, it's just auditions. At least we look at the book while we're doing it, right? And so you've got a girl who looks like Chie, and I'm guessing after the Inaba case and also the murder mysteries, she must have moved to America and became the kind of gossip girl, and says, "Don't worry about Rose. It's weird, but she doesn't talk to anyone. She thinks she's too good for us." And so we see basically everyone have out their parts, while Violet's mainly annoyed because there are real problems in the world. And she sees Rose pretty much going, "Stupid locker, always getting stuck," and uses her power to basically break off the lock, and sees to her shock that she has powers. And Bob talks about some of the other superheroes that had like sonic powers, and even talks to Helen about basically keeping identity in that. But Violet mainly doesn't explain the whole story. And the play that they're doing is Midnight Summer's Dream, and I got the role when I was at my drama club as Puck. And Rose says, "If we shadows have offended, think but this and all is mended." No, no, no! Rose, you're holding back. The theatre is where you give it all of yourself. And he mainly wants to do a little trust building exercise and asks, is there anything that they don't know? But she mainly leaves. And TA pretty much says, "That's how Rose is, Mr. Coyle. Doesn't talk to anyone. We invite her to stuff and she never goes. And you can tell she's got her own problems." So Violet lets her know that, I know your powers, and just as she gets a little defensive, Violet shows her, that she has powers too, and they both become fast friends and basically plan to do stuff after school, despite Violet having doubts at first, but decides to go to try and be her friend. So we see them using their powers at an old train station area, and decide to go to other areas, despite Violet pointing out that they will be trespassing. So they go to the golf course, the zoo, and also the amusement park. So pretty much they're talking about their families, and she says, "You've got a big family, right?" "Well, normal size, I guess. Mum, Dad, 2 brothers. What's that like?" "It's nice." And so they hear something going on, and they see that someone is breaking into the bank, and Violet knows who the villain is, and it's meant to be a character called Bullbox, who tries to steal all of the jewels and valuables. And Rose says, "Me? I'm not a superhero! I've never done that before." So Violet decides to do it herself, but Rose points out that, it's all insured, everything will be okay, and that they should leave it be, or they'll get in trouble. So Violet decides, maybe she's right, but you can tell that she does feel a bit bummed out and starts having a guilt about it. And even shows to think, was it really the right thing to do? So we are introduced back home, where Violet hears the news reports and thought everyone was insured. Bob states that things can't be replaced, and she realizes, what have I done? So pretty much she decides to go out, not before lying about doing drama rehearsal, and goes to try and talk with Rose. And we see Rose talking with someone, and turns out to be her father, who is Bullbox. And yeah, this is the story. So what I think of Secret Identities issue number 1. I think it feels like a potential to a TV series. I could definitely see Ashley Birch or Kate Higgins or Tara Strong for Rose, and it could definitely work. I'm hoping it will get the same treatment that the Big Hero series and also Tangled got. So in general, a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.